Hi, this is Elizabeth, and I'm here to share with you some of my favorite layouts that I made about Texas while I was living in Texas still. So I just moved from Texas to Georgia, so I still have a lot of Texas photos to go through. Basically, my last year I was there. Everything I'm showing you pretty much took place 2011 to 2012, with the exception of the one layout that you have in front of you, which is from 2013. I use this making some scraps. They're from all sorts of different collections, everything from Recollections to Echo Park. I just took a circle die cut and just punched a bunch of circles and stuck them in. I thought it was quite fitting for this particular layout. This actually, I'm not a huge fan of the layout itself, but it's a favorite more because of the event and for the pictures. This is in Austin, Texas. These are the bats that live under the Congress Street Bridge. And every night, it's kind of hard to tell probably from there. But at sundown, you get thousands and thousands of bats that fly up into the night sky. And you can tell there are also hundreds of people here to watch. And this is the largest bat colony in the United States. This next layout is made using the Fancy Pants collection, or almost exclusively Fancy Pants On Trend collection, which is kind of old by now. But this is from Corpus Christi. In order to get from the mainland onto Padre Island, or actually this is up in Aransas Pass, you have to take a ferry across because it's a big port still and they have to bring big boats in. But you're only on the ferry for all of 2 minutes. It's kind of a little silly. You get out of your car, you take a couple pictures, and all of a sudden you're back in. I just like the idea of being in a car on a boat. To me is just so much fun and silly. And I just have stacks of layers here right around the photo, and then I grounded it with a bunch more strips that I had of scraps laying around. This next one is also from Corpus Christi. This is taken at the Texas State Aquarium, and we had stingray feedings there, so we bought some sardines or whatever it was that they had and fed them to the starfish, the stingrays. And this is probably one of our favorite things. It's actually probably our second time feeding stingrays. We really like it. They're really cute. We like to pet them. And we're usually the only adults there without children doing it, but we don't really care. And again, this is mostly the Fancy Pants. I'm pretty sure this is actually Echo Park, though, instead. I cut that out. The colors, though, match absolutely perfectly. So this next one is a 2-page spread that was inspired by Wilma Furstenberg. She's one of the garden girls on 2 Peas in a Bucket. So basically I took, I'll have to show you. So that's the whole thing together. I'll show them to you individually. This is her 1-pager, and I took it, this sort of strip along the side is her idea, and I sort of just doubled it into 2 pages. This is for my husband's and my first anniversary back in 2012. We just went to a park and had a picnic. Kept it really low-key for the first year, nothing big and crazy. This is almost entirely from both of these Dear Lizzie Lucky Charm, except this one is way back from Fifth and Frolic. As is this one. This is also not Lucky Charm, and these are all Studio Calico wood veneers along the side, and these are mostly pink paisley, like crocheted ribbon along here. And the other one is kind of the same idea, right, except I swapped out a picture of my husband, instead of having that journaling card there. And again, I just echoed it down the side with the wood veneers and the blocks. That's a great idea, again, for scraps, except that I was a fool and didn't use my scraps. I actually cut into giant 12x12s to make all of those little squares. Oops. So then this next one I made back for National Scrapbooking Day this year. This is of the gardens at the McNay, which is a modern art museum in San Antonio. This is almost exclusively the Darling Deer collection that I used. These are Jilly Bean soup letters. And down here, instead of using a journaling card, I took the ticket, and because there's lots of white space all over it, I actually just used the ticket itself as a journaling card. Right, so I was able to box off what we were doing and also the date as well, because that's already there on the card for you, and where we were. This next one is also from Corpus Christi, but it's from a different trip that we took down there. This is actually from Upper Padre Island. There's a company there called Horses on the Beach. Right? It's a very appropriate business name. You get on horses and you go on a ride on the beach. So this is the first layout I ever intentionally made with not 4x6 photos. Mostly because we didn't have any 4x6 photos, or any photos at all, we just had videos. That's why these weird black lines are showing up on these. As you can see, because I had to take stills out of a video for them. Again, it's a real simple layout. I have Studio Calico here. This is Recollections paper. The green one is, as is the flowers. Some thickers, some jelly bean soup, and some Bella Boulevard for the horses. The word horses, the orange lettering there. This next layout is my last one from Corpus Christi. I used this using a sketch from Chamel that she put up earlier this year. Along the side, I think she actually oriented the other way. By the other way, I mean. So those are all on top. Except she had a starburst on top, but I couldn't quite get the starburst to work. But all these scraps that I wanted to use. This is a picture of my husband. We're just on the harbor, or yeah, I guess we're in the harbor in Corpus Christi, and we both really like the series of unfortunate events. We're both big Lemony Snicket fans, and my husband likes to take all these pictures like Lemony Snicket has on his books where he's not really facing the camera. You can never see him. He's always running away or hiding his face. So I actually have another one of those from another date to show you. So this is really just about my husband and how he likes to pretend to be Lemony Snicket. But just the papers. This is a Fifth and Frolic. This is also this one right here. This is the reverse side of this paper. So you see. So I just have multiple sheets of this one, so I was able to use up some scraps along the side. Some of this is Pink Paisley, Recollections. I have all sorts of stuff going through here. I think this is very, very old, my mind's eye. This is another great way to use up scraps, and I actually use scraps for this whole thing. Unlike my other one where I cut into my big 12x12s. Alrighty, so the next several are in a series about the missions. One of the things at San Antonio, they're like an oft-forgotten site. In San Antonio, everybody focuses on the one big mission downtown, the Alamo, but there are actually 4 missions that sort of leave out the south side of the city, and I think they're really fantastic. And you can walk along the river. We biked along the river. The whole thing, if you do the whole loop, I think it's like 20 miles. Oh, actually it tells me on my little piece of memorabilia that I put on here. The whole thing is 20 miles there and back. Of course, we didn't actually do the whole thing in one day. We did it in 2 days. But I think they're often forgotten, and they're really, really fantastic. I used maybe 6 different pieces of paper for this, primarily from the Studio Calico Here and There collection. This is where this great, I love this, this bicycle paper, that's where that came from. And all the washi that I'm using throughout this, or almost all of it, is Bella Boulevard, and it all came in a little packet together, so they match. But this is just the intro page to the whole thing. The river along the whole way is really pretty too. I'll show you one in a minute. They've done a lot of work. They're still doing some work. Some of it we had to be detoured off of the river. But as you can see, they've done a lot of work along the river. That's a bridge to make it, an enjoyable trip. This one's mostly a picture page. I very often use the photo blocks that are laid out in Chamel's 4x6 photo love, because I love 4x6 photos, and I like to get a lot of them on a page. So this one I didn't have a lot of journaling for, but it had a lot of pictures. And so again, this is mostly from the Here and There collection, but then that Bella Boulevard comes in on the washi. So the first mission is Concepcion, and it's kind of a mix of old and new, reconstructed, and old. So in this picture you can see that that's new, and in this one you can tell that's definitely older painting. There's also a mix of Native American and Spanish influence here. It's really pretty. And I'm just going to rush through the rest of these because I am running out of time. There's also Mission San Jose, which is the next one down, which has this great rose window, and this is mostly restored, sort of almost Baroque looking facade. Also at San Jose, they have sequoias, which are their irrigation ditches, and they have an old grist mill there, so you can see it grinding corn. And the next day we went to Mission Espada. This is actually different. This is a Pebbles up here. I started running out of paper on this one, and this is basic gray. I can't remember the collection. I want to say it's like a Hey You or something. I love this door from Espada. And here's that other one I mentioned, my husband doing his lemony snicket up here. And again, I was trying to use up the scraps from this collection, and so I just put all the different scraps of papers that I had around to make a border. And then last but not least, this is definitely not one of my favorite layouts, but it was just one of my favorite places. This is from Mission San Jose. Excuse me, Mission San Juan. This layout I also used Chamel's 4x6 Photo Love as a template, as a sketch. So this photo is sitting out here on a mat, and it's also on a page protector, and then these guys have tabs, and you can just pull the pictures out. And these pictures are from the Alps of Texas. Believe it or not, there's a driving tour in the hill country called the Alps of Texas, and you go, as you can see, right, these nice, I'd call these fall colors, except it's December, because everything happens at the wrong time of year, at least for me, for somebody from the Mid-Atlantic. And last but not least, this is from the air show at Randolph Air Force Base. This is back in San Antonio. This is all basic gray. This is My Mind's Eye. And this is a recollection tape, but I really like it because it's really textured. And then I just have a journaling card up here. This is Natalie Edwards, so you can just pull that out. And that is it for me and my Texas layouts. Thank you for watching. I'll have a haul video from 2Ps coming up. I took advantage of their 20% off sale, and hopefully I will get everything unpacked now that I'm here in Georgia and be able to do more creating soon. Alright, thanks so much. Bye-bye.